We've reached 350,000 subscribers on my channel, and I thought it was time that we did a few of your questions, another Q&A. I'm just back from Florida, where I've been on some Princess Cruise, latest ship. I have my authentic British afternoon tea on board, and if you're looking at doing a cruise and you love afternoon teas, you need to check out the beautiful Sun Princess and have a spot of afternoon tea, my afternoon tea on board. Right, let's get straight to the questions. Anna Zachary, when will you do another Q&A? Anna, this one's for you. Dobo Storter, I just read an article about Prince Harry. On another occasion, he forged his nanny's handwriting in an attempt to trick his family chef, Darren McGrady, into making him pizza for dinner instead of roast chicken. Is that true? Dobo, yes, it is true. I remember when I was working for Princess Diana, I came back one evening, Nanny insisted on the boys eating healthy, and she wanted them to have roast chicken and vegetables, potatoes, and Harry had written a note, put it on the kitchen table, saying, Darren, please give William and Harry pizza for dinner tonight instead of the chicken. Signed, Jess, the nanny. I was more scared of the nanny, so they ended up with roast chicken. Didn't work. Oh, Los Angeles Kings. That's a cool name. I remember reading somewhere that the Queen liked her martinis 16-1 and just a slight hint of vermouth. Just wondering if it's true. Oh my, 16 parts gin to 1 part Giovanni. Goodness no. No, so the Queen loved gin and Giovanni, and so did the Queen Mother actually, and Princess Margaret. And the Queen used to have 1 part gin, Gordon's gin, that was her favourite, and 2 parts Giovanni. That was all. 16-1. Yikes. Denise Fish. Just need to say you're one of the best chefs to follow with instructional videos. Denise, I love you. Thank you so much. I try to make them as easy for you to make at home as possible, and as entertaining as well, and hopefully they are. Royalty59, do you think William and Harry will become friends again? Yikes, Royalty59, let's go in and really spill the tea on this one. It's so sad that the boys are not friends. I cooked for them as young boys. I held Prince Harry as a baby while Princess Diana's eating cereals in the kitchen at Windsor Castle, and watched them grow up, and they literally were blood brothers. But now, I don't know what's gone on. I'm really glad Princess Diana's not here to see it, because, well, maybe she would sort all this mess out. But answer to your question, I don't think so. I think there's too much water under the bridge now. And I think that that relationship's gone, sadly. Bread Beard, are there any plans to make your book available outside of the US? Eating Royally is available in the US. There's a link in the description below. Lots of the royal recipes I use when I cook for the Queen and the royal family, Buckingham Palace, Kensington Palace. No plans right now to make it available outside. It means looking for a printer, so outside the US is really difficult right now. I'd love to get it out in England and Australia. I know we keep getting so many requests for the book. Alan Words, where do you live now? You don't work at the palace, and what do you do now? Well, I live in the United States. I moved from the palace to Dallas. I've been in Dallas now for 27 years. You could tell that with my Texan accent, right? That's why all the recipes are in pounds and cups and tablespoons, because I've been here 27 years. So I've got to work on converting those for everybody across the pond. What do? I have Eating Royally, my catering company in Dallas. We do events not just in Dallas, but all across the country. I do culinary events around the world, where I'm speaking, where I'm cooking. I collaborate with Kelch Communities, assisted living, over in Arizona and Washington, and California, and sort of all along that coast, really. doing the assisted living, doing menus, and treating your mother like a queen at Kelch Communities. I work with Princess Cruise Line, as I mentioned earlier. So I have my afternoon tea on board, and I host culinary trips around the world, one coming up to Scotland, another one to the south of France. That keeps me busy, all of that. Obsidian Wharf. Dear Chef, I demand more Winston. Is there a real Winston? Where is Winston? More Winston or the cheesecake gets it. That's not fair. Okay, so is there a real Winston? Nope, other than Winston. Where is Winston? Winston's not been in any of the videos for a while. I think he's still being trained on how to be a good boy in the kitchen. But who knows, we might see him back in a video again soon. Alex Gifford, this is great. I'd love to see more classic dishes that were popular decades ago. Alex, I love doing recipes that have a story to them, you know, so you can make them at home and then you can share with your friends and tell them, hey, I've got a story on this. I love connecting the history with the food, so definitely Alex will do more of those. Jason Doherty, Darren, did the royal family have any form of rice pudding or rice dish in general at all? They did, you know, they actually had rice pudding, and I've not done a video of that, but it's a typical classic English Sunday lunch dessert pudding, so I do need to do that. And they also had another dish called pear conde, which is like the cooked rice, the arborio rice, the short grain, folded whipped cream into there with sugar, a little vanilla, and then a poached pear on top. Tastes delicious. Maybe I do that one at some stage, yeah. So for two, did you ever grill something for the Queen in your videos? I did not see it. Well, I did the burgers in one of the videos. You can check that one out. I was cooking on the grill there. At the palace, no, we didn't. But at Balmoral Castle, the King's 50,000 acre estate up in the Scottish Highlands, yes, Prince Philip loved to cook, and he would cook on the grill all the time. So we'd make beef tenderloin, fillet of beef, and all the vegetables, everything else, and he loved to cook on the grill. He was the grill master. 55, Nimrod 55. Brits love that word, gorgeous. It's a gorgeous word, Nimrod. Gorgeous, gorgeous word. Nathan Graf, did you ever cook for the royal family while on board HMY Britannia? Nathan, I did. I spent 11 years traveling the world with the Queen wherever she went. And I cooked in the United States. One of the highlights for me was being on board Britannia, sailing into Miami with the Queen on board. A huge flotilla of ships or boats around us, honking horns, jetting water. Royal Marines band on the top deck playing a Life on the Ocean Wave. And me and the Royal Galley making a soufflé au citron froid, cold lemon soufflé, for the Queen and her guest, President Reagan, President Ford, General Schwarzkopf, who she was knighting for his part in the Gulf War. My first trip on board was actually the 40th anniversary of the D-Day landings, and that was a real humbling trip, but amazing. Danny, could you show us how to make Scottish tablet? I'm sure you've tried it on one of your many visits to Scotland. Danny, I was actually in Scotland hosting 2 culinary trips earlier this year, and we had Scottish tablet. A nice cup of coffee at the end of the meal and some Scottish tablet. For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, I should make it closer to the holidays, because it's a great treat, not just to give to friends, but to pack up and give away as little holiday gifts. Nancy Rogers, is it true King Charles doesn't eat lunch? King Charles doesn't really eat lunch. He doesn't like a lot of lunch. He doesn't have time for it for the most part, I think. When we do state visits, he would always have lunch, obviously. Lunch parties, he would have lunch. And then when he's at Balmoral, if he's going out walking or hiking or just for a picnic in the hills where he's painting, he'll take a selection of sandwiches with him. So he's not big on lunch, but he does have lunch sometimes. Jay Haspels. Question for your next Q&A, this one. What do you miss most about England and what do you miss the least? Miss most. I miss the food, I miss my family, and I miss the football. 3S, right? The real football, that is. Real football. We have some incredible ingredients over there. You know, the Jersey roll potatoes, the clotted cream, the beautiful Scottish langoustine. And so I miss those. Of course I miss the family. What do you miss the least? Probably the rain. It rains a lot over there. I live in Dallas now and it's sunny and I like it sunny. Marco Molina. So Darren, have you tried Texas barbecue? What is your take on it? Marco, I have, yes, I cook it a lot. When I first came here, I was fascinated with Texas barbecue. I cook barbecue even at home for my family and friends. Love barbecue, love cooking briskets, but love being able to travel too around the country and seeing what, you know, the barbecue is like up in Kansas, over in the Carolinas, how it's all different. But it's all good. I do love barbecue. Jean Baxter. Did the Queen or any members of the royal family use lemon curd during tea? Jean, they did. In my first book, Eating Royally, there's a recipe for lemon cheese that we used to make at Balmoral. And yes, sometimes with scones, we would actually serve the clotted cream, the scones, and the lemon curd or jam as an alternative. And the Queen would often take the lemon curd, the lemon cheese. We also made tartlets. One of the Queen Mother's favourite tea cakes were little tartlets with lemon cheese, lemon curd, and little strawberries or Frais de Bois raspberries on the top. So yes, absolutely. Kelly Masters. I know you're not saying crappy crunch, but is it cracky crunch, craggy crunch, crathy crunch, or something else? Also, is your left hand bleeding? Callie, it's actually Crathy crunch. It comes from Crathy, which is the village right next to Balmoral Castle, up in Aberdeen, just north of Aberdeen. Is my left hand bleeding? In the video, I knew. I said to the team that someone is going to say, look, he's cut his hand. And if you watch the video again, you see it. Good spot, Kelly. In the morning, before we were making the videos, I was using red food coloring and I splashed some onto my hand, my left hand. So nope, no cuts. It was food coloring. Janie Babe, do you have any memories of Diana and the boys visiting Disney World? I do, Janie. I was working for Princess Diana when she took the boys to Disney World. Prince Harry came back, taught me how to cook crispy bacon. Came into the kitchen, this size, and said, Darren, put the bacon into the microwave on a paper towel for 1 minute. It goes really crispy. I said, hey, Scrawny, get out of the kitchen and go and play. When he'd gone, I tried it, made the most crispiest bacon. I made it that way ever since. Cranbizo. You have some weird names, you guys. What kind of tea do you drink, and do you snack on anything while enjoying your cup of tea? I'm a big tea drinker. I'm British. I drink maybe 5 or 6 cups a day. Every afternoon I stop for tea. Drives my team crazy, but I do love tea. I actually drink a tea called Barry's tea. It's a black tea. And it's a builder's tea. It's a really strong tea, but I absolutely love it. What do you snack on anything? Occasionally I'll have digestive biscuits, sometimes chocolate digestives. I'm going to put a link in the description below to both of them. It won't make you a better chef, but it will give you some peace and relaxation in the afternoons. Barry's tea and chocolate digestives. James Sudek on the beef Wellington. Crepes come from France. Why use crepes? Oh my gosh, if I've answered this one 100 times, James. So that was, I'm not using prosciutto because it's from Italy. And so I'm using crepes just to seal in the juices. I said I'm using pancakes. In England, crepes are pancakes, okay? And pancakes are British, and we invented them before the French. So I'm using pancakes in there. Therefore, pancakes are British, and then that's okay, right? Because it's British. Beef Wellington. Justine Kessner, have you ever made salmon Wellington? Not salmon Wellington, Justine, but we did at the Palace make a salmon en croûte and also a salmon coulibiac. Two beautiful dishes, and I probably need to make videos of them. Okay, one more. Drive Zone Online. Darren, you are so handsome. I think that's a perfect place to leave this Q&A now. Drive Zone Online, love you to bits. Thank you. I do think you need to clean your glasses or wipe your TV a little bit. Handsome, me. Not sure. Thanks for watching the video. Send in more questions, because it looks like we're going to get to the 400,000 before we know it. And I'd love to answer all your questions for you. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment below and your question. And share the video with friends. And I'll see you again soon.